What's going on, y'all? Five Sports Talk back at it with another video talking some NBA, talking about none other than the GOAT, Michael Jeffrey Jordan, who made headlines recently for a statement that he made about the current state of the NBA, and I'm here to break that down and what I actually think about that statement and whether or not Michael Jordan is right or wrong. But real quick, before I get into that, we all know the NBA season is right around the corner. If you guys are interested in playing fantasy basketball with me, against me, make sure you guys sign up for my ESPN league down below. Link to join the league is down below. First come, first serve, so make sure you guys get into that as soon as possible. With that being said, let's get back to the topic of the day, talking about MJ, who basically said in an interview that the current state of the NBA is pretty much garbage, okay, with the super teams dominating and the rest of the league being basically chopped liver, okay. He said 28 teams are garbage pretty much at this point, with only 2 teams, of course, hint hint, Warriors and Cavs, being the only teams that actually have a legitimate shot to win a championship. And basically he said it's going to hurt the league from a competitive standpoint and a business standpoint, okay. So really, does Michael Jordan make sense here? Is he right or wrong? Well, duh, of course he's right in the sense that we see it, okay? The last 3 NBA finals have been the Warriors and Cavs for a particular reason, okay? And it probably will be a 4th, okay? But we also know that the NBA has lacked parity forever, okay? We know that the 90s were dominated by MJ himself, and if he hadn't retired, the Bulls probably could have won 8 straight. Okay, in the 80s, it was all Magic's Lakers and Bird's Celtics. Then in the 70s and 60s, it was Celtics. And maybe teams like the Sixers would win here and there. But for the most part, there's a reason why the Lakers and Celtics have like 16, 17 championships. And there's like 8 teams in the league that still don't even have 1 championship, okay? So we know that. But here's the thing, okay? We understand that this time the parity level is a bit higher, or I should say the lack of parity is a bit higher than what we're used to seeing. Because if you think back maybe even 5 years, maybe even 6 years, I don't remember saying, oh, like it's a lock that this team is going to make the NBA, these 2 teams, every single year like we have with the Warriors and Cavs. So I understand his point there. But let me dive a little bit deeper into this issue, because I think there is an underlying issue a lot of people are not talking about, and that is the fact that parity within the NBA is overrated and always has been overrated, okay? People don't care too much if the same teams win every year, in terms of if the teams that go there every year are likable, okay? And the 2 teams right now, specifically the players, the best players on those 2 teams, are very polarizing, okay? And that is something that I want to highlight, because as much as I like LeBron James, I'm a big LeBron James fan, he is very polarizing. A lot of people do not like him. And as much as I'm not a fan of Kevin Durant, a lot of people do like him and a lot of people do dislike him, okay? Especially after his recent move to the Warriors. And so when you have something like that, when you have players that are disliked, you are going to have this issue of the lack of parity coming up more and more, because the more times these players make the finals and the more championships they win, the more people will complain, okay? If you look back in history at all of the main superstars, majority of them were likable. MJ is considered the undisputed GOAT, okay? So to think about the fact that there's really no people that dislike Michael Jordan, that's kind of apparent and like interesting and shocking all at the same time, okay? Yeah, I know there's a couple of Knicks fans that don't like MJ, other teams that he eliminated and whatnot, but for the most part, he's the GOAT. People like him. People like Magic, okay? People like Larry Bird, okay? People liked all of these guys. Nobody really hated them outside of maybe a couple fans of the rivalry team, okay? But since LeBron James went to the Heat, people have disliked him. Since Kevin Durant went to the Warriors, people have disliked him. And so that is the issue here with the lack of parity that people are highlighting. It's the fact that people don't like these players, okay? And if they like those players, and if they were, for whatever reason, more likable, I guess, this would not be as big of an issue, because like I said, we have had really A few teams dominated the NBA since its inception. Now, like I said, I agreed with the lack of parity being definitely a little bit more right now because, like I said, I don't think there's been a team, two teams haven't faced each other in 3 straight finals ever in NBA history. So we definitely see that there, okay? And it could be a 4th this year, folks. It could be a 4th. But for the most part, I think it's the fact that these players are not universally liked. They're very polarizing, and that is adding to this statement. So that is what I think when MJ talks about his teams being garbage and the 28 teams being garbage, because let's face it, MJ has not been a great owner. Okay, his teams have made the playoffs, what, 3-4 times out of 11 years. It's just not that great. And of course, he wants the Hornets to be competitive and to be a title contender, but they are far from it at this point. So I can understand his sort of reasoning for this. So let me know what you guys think. I think it's hurting the league in terms of the fact that these players are not likable, and if we had more universally liked players, I think we would be fine right now. But definitely I do see a lack of parity creeping up for sure with these two teams basically making the finals every single season, and we might eventually get tired of it if we already aren't of it right now. So let me know what you guys think. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please make sure to subscribe down below. Join my fantasy basketball league, link down below for that. And as always, thanks for watching.